1972 was one of those magical years in music. Today, we're rewinding to 1972 to look at 15 incredible one-hit wonders. 15. Stealers Wheel. Stuck in the Middle with You.
I'm stuck in the middle with you, and I'm wondering what it is I should do.
Written by Scottish musicians Gerry Rafferty and Joe Egan, the song was recorded at Apple Studios in London, the same studio once owned by the Beatles.
So hard to keep the smile from my face. Losing control, yeah, I'm all over the place.
Stuck in the Middle with You started as a joke. They were poking fun at the pretentiousness of the music industry, the parties, the fake smiles. Rafferty deliberately sang it in a Bob Dylan-like voice to make the parody complete.
I can see there is no sense at all. Is it cool to go to sleep on the floor?
But the joke turned into a hit. Released by A&M Records, it climbed into the top 10 on both sides of the Atlantic.
Here I am, stuck in the middle with you.
14. The Raspberries, Could Go All the Way. Formed in Cleveland, Ohio, they were led by Eric Carmen, who later became famous for songs like All by Myself. The song hinted at teenage passion more boldly than most radio hits at the time. Some stations refused to play it because of the suggestive lyrics, but that only made kids more eager to hear it. It was recorded at Record Plant Studios in New York, a favorite spot for legends like Jimi Hendrix and John Lennon. Go All the Way shot to number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and turned the Raspberries into overnight stars. They released a few more singles after that, but nothing came close to the success of their debut hit. 13. Blackfoot Sue, Standing in the Road. While America was busy with soft rock and soul, Britain was moving towards something flashier, glam rock. In that landscape came Blackfoot Sue. Their hit Standing in the Road was recorded at Morgan Studios in London. The Farmers wrote the song themselves, inspired by the gritty life of working-class England and the feeling of trying to get noticed. It exploded onto the UK singles chart, peaking at number 4 in 1972. They performed on Top of the Pops and became teenage heroes almost overnight. Blackfoot Sue continued playing under different names, but Standing in the Road remained their golden moment. Before we keep going, what's your favorite music memory from the early 70s? Drop it in the comments. 12. Gallery, Nice to Be With You.
Oh, it's so nice to be with you. I love all the
Led by singer and songwriter Jim Gold, this Michigan group delivered one of 1972's most comforting songs.
you're gonna please me in every way.
The band recorded it at Bell Sound Studios in New York, one of the busiest studios of the time, and released it under Sussex Records. Nice to Be With You reached number 4 in the Billboard Hot 100 and sold over 1 million copies.
You're there to pick me up and help me to carry on.
Although Gallery released a few more singles, none repeated that success. 11. Argent, Hold Your Head Up.
Hold your head up, whoa, hold your head up, whoa.
When Rod Argent, the keyboardist for the Zombies, started his new band Argent, he was determined to move beyond his earlier sound. Together with guitarist and songwriter Russ Ballard, he formed one of the most talented yet underrated rock bands of the early 70s.
If it hurts, don't let them see you cry. You can wait.
Was recorded at the legendary Abbey Road Studios in London for their 1972 album All Together Now.
And if they shout, don't let it change a thing.
The song's powerful keyboard riff became instantly recognizable, and its positive lyrics made it a kind of rock anthem for self-confidence. It reached number 5 on both the US and UK charts. Despite several follow-up albums, Argent never scored another major hit. 10. Coltrane, Thunder and Lightning. In an era dominated by male rock singers, Coltrane burst onto the scene like a storm. She began playing piano at a young age and writing songs that blended gospel energy with pop and soul. Her debut single was recorded in Los Angeles and released by Columbia Records in 1972. The single reached number 17 on the Billboard Hot 100. While she never matched the chart success of her debut in the US, she found loyal fans in Europe, especially Germany, where she continued to tour and record for years. If you miss when music sounded this good, hit that subscribe button and keep the spirit of 70s music alive. 9. Colin Blunstone. Say You Don't Mind.
Say you don't mind, you left me off this time.
After the breakup of the Zombies, frontman Colin Blunstone took a surprising detour. He left music altogether and took a day job at an insurance company. But his love for singing never disappeared.
Into this scene, my dreams were getting bad.
The song had actually been written by Denny Lane, a founding member of the Moody Blues and later a member of Wings. But Blunstone made it his own with a soft, haunting vocal backed by a lush string arrangement instead of a typical rock setup.
Doing some growing, but I'm scared of you going so.
Recorded at Air Studios in London, the song climbed to number 15 on the UK charts. While he never returned to the charts in a major way, he went on to collaborate again with the Zombies decades later. 8. Uriah Heep, Easy Livin'. Formed in London in 1969, the band had already released several albums before finally breaking into the US market. The track was recorded at Lansdowne Studios in London for their 1972 album Demons and Wizards. It reached number 39 on the Billboard Hot 100, making it their only major American hit, though they were much bigger in Europe and Japan. 7. Derek and the Dominos. Layla.
You got me on my knees. I'm thinking, darling, please.
It might sound strange calling Layla a one-hit wonder, but by definition, that's exactly what Derek and the Dominos were. The band, led by Eric Clapton and drummer-songwriter Jim Gordon, released only one studio album.
Darling, don't you eat my worried mind.
The song didn't actually explode until 1972, when it was reissued as a single and finally climbed the charts. By then, the band had already broken up. Clapton had fallen into a spiral of addiction, and Gordon was dealing with severe mental health issues that would later end his career.
Messed up situation. Before I finally go insane.
Layla was inspired by Clapton's unrequited love for Pattie Boyd, the wife of his close friend George Harrison of the Beatles. Clapton co-wrote it with Gordon, whose famous piano coda closes the track.
Tell me all my love's in vain.
Though Clapton went on to a massive solo career, Derek and the Dominos never charted again. 6. The Chacachas, Jungle Fever.
Sorry, no, no, no.
This funky, Latin-flavored track came not from the jungles of South America, but from Belgium. They recorded Jungle Fever at Morgan Studios in London, mixing Latin percussion, heavy bass, and most memorably, erotic vocal moans. When it hit the airwaves, some US radio stations refused to play it, calling it too suggestive. That controversy helped it climb even higher, reaching number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 in 1972. Chacachas tried to follow up with other singles, but none caught fire the same way. 5. Commander Cody and his Lost Planet Airmen, Hot Rod Lincoln.
sudden, in a wink of an eye, a Cadillac sedan passed me by. I said, boys, there's a mark for me, Bob in the
Commander Cody and his Lost Planet Airmen were a wild collective from Ann Arbor, Michigan, led by keyboardist and singer George Frayne.
put off the gas and then alive, shoved it on down into overdrive.
Their breakout hit, Hot Rod Lincoln, was recorded at Pacific High Studios in San Francisco and released on Paramount Records. It reached number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100, earning the band national fame. Though they kept touring and recording, their later songs never cracked the mainstream again. 4. Danny O'Keefe, Good Time Charlie's Got the Blues.
Good time, Charlie's got the blues.
O'Keefe had been writing for years before anyone noticed him. He originally recorded the song in 1970, but it wasn't until a new version was cut at Quadraphonic Sound Studios in Nashville that it caught fire.
Good time, Charlie's got the
Released by Signpost Records, it climbed to number 9 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 1 on the Adult Contemporary chart. Dozens of artists later covered it, from Elvis Presley to Willie Nelson, but O'Keefe himself never returned to the top 40. 3. The Dramatics, In the Rain. This Detroit-based vocal group recorded the song at the legendary United Sound Studios in Detroit under producer Tony Hester. Hester also wrote the track, crafting a moody masterpiece complete with thunder and rain sound effects.
I don't want you to see me cry.
In the Rain soared to number 5 on the Billboard Hot 100 and number 1 on the R&B chart, selling over 1 million copies. The lush orchestration and emotional harmonies turned it into a soul classic.
It may sound crazy, but I wanna go outside.
And even if the Dramatics never topped it again, they left behind a track that still feels timeless. 2. Mouth and MacNeal, How Do You Do?
How do you do? I thought, why not?
If you were anywhere near a radio in 1972, you probably heard this playful duet that seemed to come out of nowhere.
Just me and you, and then we can just like.
The two met in Amsterdam, signed to Philips Records, and quickly recorded How Do You Do? The single became a global hit, reaching number 8 on the Billboard Hot 100 and topping charts in more than a dozen countries. Their mix of charm, humor, and chemistry made them European favorites. By 1974, the pair split up. Maggie MacNeal went solo and even represented the Netherlands in the Eurovision Song Contest. But for most listeners around the world, How Do You Do was their one shining moment. We end our trip through 1972 with a song that has never really left the radio one. Looking Glass, Brandy, You're a Fine Girl. This band formed at Rutgers University in New Brunswick, New Jersey, where singer-guitarist Elliot Lurie wrote the song. Brandy tells the story of a barmaid who wins every sailor's heart but loses out to the sea, a metaphor for longing and the sacrifices of love. It was recorded at Media Sound Studios in New York City and produced by Clive Davis's team at Epic Records. Interestingly, when it was first released, the single barely sold. A Washington, D.C. radio DJ started playing it heavily, and within weeks, it spread nationwide, shooting to number 1 on the Billboard Hot 100.
That bears the name of a man that Brandy loved.
The band tried to follow it up with Jimmy Loves Marianne, which only reached the lower charts. By 1974, they had disbanded. If you've made it this far, you're clearly a true music lover. So like and subscribe and stick around for more one-hit wonders.